Hey, welcome. All my right thinkers, thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Farm, thinking right out here in my lab. And I'm back in the book. Got a nice little lesson for you today. We're going to do some mathematics. We're going to get the Fibonacci mathematics problem concept. And we're going to do boat or shipbuilding. Two lessons in one. We'll be a two for the day. I'm teaching. Let's rock. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune into receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission. I'm on it. It's to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You well when I'm through. That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you, right? Thinkers know thyself and too. My be true. Now we getting over here to the with the Nile Valley civilization contributions, Nile Valley contribution to civilization. We're gonna do it what we call mathematics. This is the hieroglyph for businessmen doing whatever they do. Break that down for you. Then down here, you see the eye. You see the fraction right here to the eye. I'll break that down for you right quick. And then we're gonna go over to uh, Fibonacci mathematics, and then I'm gonna take you to shipbuilding. So let's go. I just showed you a picture of accountants assessing the estate of a deceased person. See, they kept records. They did things from what? From a mastaba of Thai at what? Saqqara. That's the first pyramid. Saqqara. Built by my man Imhotep. But they're showing you back then they kept records. And they were meticulous about documentation. They was meticulous about storing information. I say that for a reason. Pay attention. Mathematics. Now let's do the eye first. You see the eye right here? I sport the eye. The eye is of the natural was considered to have been two symbols of what? Light in the heavens and the sun and the moon. Left eye, right eye. The right eye was called the eye of Haru the, and represented the sun. The left eye was also associated with Tahuti and symbolized what? The moon. Remember, Tahuti watches over us at night. That's his job. But they got Kansu in the other language, they use Kansu. All right. But it's symbolized by the moon. Arithmetic in the Nile Valley was based on what they call diminution. That means having rather than addition and subtraction, they had other components that compromised the eye of Tahuti and were given a numerical value and were used when writing the fractions. We started that. 1/2 to what? 1/64. I'm going to break it down for you 1 second. The symbols for the various fractions of the eye were called the Hekat. Hekat. Remember that word too also, all right? Which was also a unit of volume when the measurement of grain. I didn't know that. I just learned that from reading. I forgot about that. I seen that word before. Okay, and that is a question. We got word problems that they're gonna ask questions. So remember that Hakat is the measurement of grain. All right, pay attention. Thus, the Hakat and the Tahuti both symbolizes what? Measurements. Now, let me show you the eye. And if you can use the eye to give you the five senses is really the sixth sense. They take the thought out. They just give you the smell, the sight, the hearing, the touching, and the tasting. What about the aftermath? What makes it all happen? The thought. So they tend to take that out. So if you got the sixth sense, you got extrasensory perception. No, you just use them, and that's what they mean. You're using all your senses. Why? You gotta have the thought process to make it work. So understand that. It's all symbolical. I just get ready to break down the eye. You see the top first, okay, the first part with the one half. Okay. The big part, the eye in the middle, that's 1/4. The part in the back of the eye, that's 1/16. Excuse me. 1/8 is the brow. Excuse me, the thought. Okay. That's the part they tend to overlook. Okay. But it measurements 1/8. And you double that with the hearing, which is 1/16. And then you got the down here, the touching is 136, and the tasting is 164. You add all those up, fraction wise, you come up to 63/64. And the part that's missing, they do that intentionally. That's God. That 164, that's God. Okay, that's the concept. And they break down this way. The relationship between the lunar eye, the moon, and the measurements is quite profound. Why? Because the passage of time was noted by adding the various fractions of the moon, quarter moon, half moon, full moon, etc. The astronomers of ancient Kemet knew that the moon reflected the light of the sun and that became invisible as a new moon. But when it was in conjunction with the sun, and that it was fully visible, now you have a full moon. And when it was directly opposite the sun, that's how it gets direct sunlight and absorbs it, makes it full, radiate at night. That's the concept. All right, let's get to the math. This is going to be fun. This is going to be good questions. A lot of people don't do word problems in math, but all you got to do is pay attention and remember, you got to put the numbers down right way. All right, let's go. Much as what known about non-value mathematics can be found in what they call documents called the WRIGHT Mathematical Papyrus. He found this information, so they named it after him. Okay, now which was purchased or he bought it. Okay, by the Scotsman named by Alexander Ryan and brought to London. This ancient papyrus was discovered in the mid 19th century and was to believe to have been written during the Middle Kingdom, circa 1900 BCE, by a scribe named Amos. The text consists of more than 80 mathematical problems and their solutions. The Nile Valley, this is math. This is where it all began. This papyrus is said to be a copy of the much older or earlier document. Again, Egyptian was famous for documenting, which was originally written as a mathematical textbook for children. The children was learning advanced math that we don't learn until we get to college. Just give you a breakdown. And my dude, Sheikh Anta Diop, he holds this document in the highest regard. He states this from exercises from the document 56, 57, 58, 59, and 60 of the Ryan Papyrus shows us that the Cometians, 2,000 years before the Greeks, remember, 2,000 a lot of time, okay? That's about we've been here on the other side of the BCE, okay? Studied the mathematics of the pyramids and one of the cone. And that would even use the different trigonometric lines. I know this because I study calculus and trigonometry, advanced math, geometry, the tangent line, the sin line, the cosine, and the cotangent. From geometry, those are all angles and sines, okay, in order to calculate their slopes. The angle to see perfect angle, the degrees that they can get the projection. That was the pyramid, had the slots point out perfect for that. So they got that understanding. But some of the problems that addressed in this papyrus included the surface of the spear, the square root of the Pythagorean theorem way before he even was born. The quadro of a circle. We use the sign for circle, 360 degrees, 360 days in a year. But the volume of the sphere and the methods of how to determine the surface of the circle, the rectangle, the trapezium, the four-sided, and the triangle. They always, the triangle, the 369, okay? That's the perfect triangle. That's the perfect concept. One, the most interesting elements in the rhyme papyrus is a problem from number 79, which deals with geometric progression of a ration of 7. You ready? You're about to do the multiplication, all right? But in the next text, this problem was called the inventory of goods that contained in a house. It states there are 7 houses. It's pencil paper now. In each house, there's 7 cats. Each cat kills 7 mice. Each mouse had eaten 7 grains, aka hecats. Each grain would have produced 7 hecats. Love that. What is the sum of all the amalgamated elements? What do it all add up to? That's the question. Okay, 7 houses, 49 cats, 343 mice, 242,401 grains of hecats equals, okay, it's the grains, and that equals into 16,807 hectares of grain, totaling 19,607. But now the problem design is to show that what? Each of the 7 houses, there are 7 cats. They each eat what? Cat 7 mice, and each mice had ate 7 grains of corn, and that each grain of corn would have produced 7 hectares of grain. And another way of writing the problem is they have 7 times 7, 7 times 7 times 7, 7 times 7 times 7 times 7, and then 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7. You come up with 19,607. And at each stage of the problem, the sum is obtained by what? Increasing the previous sum by the 1 and the multiplying by the common ratio. The sum of the series of the 4 terms was 2,800. And when this is increased by the 1, it becomes what? 2,801. Boy, they had that thing figured out. And the multiplying, what? 2,801. 2,801 by what? 7, it gives the sum of the 5 terms. You can put it and use it any way you want after that. Most people will recognize a profound similarity between the problem 79 and the well-known Mother Goose nursery rhyme. What's this? And they take, this is how they used to teach right now. If you put something into rhyme, a rap, they gravitate to it like that. They knew that a long time ago. Why? The brain, easy rhythm, it flows, so it works for it. What's this? Mother Goose nursery rhyme. They were teaching back then. And as we go to to St. Ives, it says, as I was going to St. Ives, I met a man with 7 wives. Each wife has 7 sacks. Each sack has 7 cats. Each cat has 7 kittens. Kittens, cats, sacks, wives. How many were going to St. Ives? This is the nursery rhyme, but it's also a lesson teaching it. Back in the day, everything was for a teachable purpose. Everything I try to give you is for what? Educational purpose. I ain't just here blowing smoke, wasting my time. Okay? I'm trying to help you use your mind. But this rhyme, I'm still rhyming. This rhyme is more of a riddle than an algebraic problem. Why? Because the answer is, you ready? Anybody did the math on that? Don't get the, nah, stop. Don't waste your time, all right? The traveler is the only one going to what? St. Ives. Get it? While the group that had encountered is returning from St. Ives. See, if you don't listen to what's going on, you miss it and think, I know the answer, and you don't misinterpret the whole thing, but you swear you got the answer. You know those kind of people? And every time they tell you, they be wrong. But I thought, yeah, I mean, you wasn't paying attention. You should know. If one is unaware that this is a trick question, ding, 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 to see if you're paying attention, and would probably attempt to solve the geometric problem. This version of the 79 was introduced into Europe. What? Approximately, you ready? 3,500 years after its creation. So it's been around a long time. That's what they're telling you. Although similar mathematical problems can also be what found in the papyrus at Moscow, there are many who wish to attribute what the development of higher mathematics to the Greeks. Again, wrong. Why? Despite their proclaimed in-depthness to what the priests of the Nile Valley, this guy named Gay Robbins and Charles Shute, offer the following conclusion of this concept in their book, The Rhyme Mathematical Papyrus, which is an ancient text of an Egyptian text. First of all, let me read you about my dude here. I'm going to close out with this, and I'm going to read Fibonacci. Now, it proclaims in his commentary on Euclid, know who he was? Great philosopher, Greek philosopher, who claimed what? Eureka. What? That means I got it. You see the light bulb go on? That was Euclid, 47 problems. All right, but following Herodotus, wrote the geometry and had an Egyptian origin arising out of the necessity to what? Reserving the land after what? Each inundation, meaning every time the river flood, the Nile would flood, the mark lines, the wave lines would be erased away. So they got to keep doing it every year. That's what they're saying. And Aristotle, the metaphysics, i.e., 116, one on the other hand attribute the birth of mathematics, where in Egypt to what? The existence of priestly leisure class. Perhaps the most enduring effect of Egyptian mathematics was the stimulus that what? It gave to the Greeks, who then traveled beyond mere calculation into what? The realms of abstract thought, in which case the Greek achievement will have owed something to what? The learning meticulously and patiently handed on by what? The Egyptians from generation to generation since early times. I've been telling you, I know Greek philosophy, mythology, and they never said a word where they got their knowledge from. Let's talk about the math. I'll get to them in a minute. I've been saying that about them forever. Why? I got their knowledge before I got my Egyptian knowledge. So I know about them, too much about them, and don't like none of it. The Italian mathematician Leonardo Fibonacci. That name sound familiar? Okay, we followed his philosophy in math. Why? In circa, he was born 1175 and died in 1204 ACE. And he's reputed to have been the greatest mathematician of the Middle Age. Okay, I agree. Say, don't tell me because I gotta get that to Imhotep. So I had to back up, had to make sure I got this right. Fibonacci studied math in North Africa, so he got it again from us, and he learned and mastered it from the Arabics and even the Hindu systems of numbers, and he made it possible that we do right now 0 to 9. That's it. After 9, you're going to double the numbers. You're going to go right back to 0. Why? Because at one point in time, I'm going to get this moving on, he's credited with introducing this new numbering system into the Western Hemisphere. Why? Because prior to this time, the calculations were still being made by using the archaic Roman numerals and the Greek letters. If you know anything about them, that is a waste of damn time. I'm tired of that nonsense. I'm so glad we ain't got to deal with that dumb stuff. You ever try to read the Greek's numeral? Oh, that's ridiculous. Okay. X's and O's and all. Man, no. But in 1202, ACE, Fibonacci published Liber Abac, a book of the abacus method of mathematics, which discussed the Hindu and the Arabic numerals. Now, my man from India, they proud of bringing the zero into existence. Mm, they want credit for that, so I ain't gonna argue. I ain't got time for that. But it contained methods of arithmetic, what, and mathematical applications for what, solving problems with math related to commerce. There is also evidence, again, suggested that the Fibonacci may have or know they studied with in ancient Egypt, or at least he was familiar with the elements of the Rhine Papyrus. One, one of the math problems that Fibonacci, watch this, now you can tell right here, used in the text, stated, before we get to here, I hear people say the Mesopotamians, the Sumerians taught the Egyptians. Oh, contraire, mon frere. The Mesopotamians and the Sumerians, they had the wheel. If we copied them, the Egyptians didn't have a wheel. Just want to put that in there. See, I ain't got to go argue back and forth. No, simple things to make the point. What? That's all I got. Points. I'm not here to argue. I know what I'm talking about, and I can just express that real simple. All right. This question says, remember them sevens we talked about earlier? What's this? His Fibonacci uses the 7 old women went to Rome. Each woman had 7 mules. Each mule carried what? 7 sacks. Each sack contained what? 7 loaves. And with each loaf there were 7 knives. And each knife was put up in 7 sheaths. Sound familiar? There you go. That's the Fibonacci concept, and it plays right into the concept that we laid out previously. I'm going to shut it down. Actually, I'm going to do the boating. I'm going to give boating its own time. I think I can put together a nice little lesson with that, shipbuilding. So right now, right here, I want to close that out with the mathematics that we got for the Nile Valley. Fibonacci picked it up and made it famous. So it's all good. My point is, this is just our history, some truth that we probably will be never taught in school. That's my point. I teach different things, so I understand that it ain't for everybody. But for those who are entertained, I appreciate you. And in closing, may you all right thing, because live to be 100, me 100 minus a day. So I've never done my right thing who's starting to get a little history lesson about the Egyptian Nile Valley mathematics system that passed away. I'll be right back.